For Indian investors, the first lesson is that the stock market will not always move upwards. Investing can be risky if not done with necessary knowledge, skills, and mindset. You must have heard many people have lost money in the stock market in 2008, now even in March 2020, when Corona struck, because they have bought higher levels, whereas others have very little money to invest, thinking they are better off by staying away from the stock market or mutual funds. But in my opinion, if you make the mistake of not investing at all, then you are at a bigger loss, because investing in growth story in India is intact. But one had to be careful at what price levels to buy and sell. Assessing the risk from a stock is as important as looking at the returns. Investing is all about risk. Risk here I mean calculating external risk and internal risk. Now we can see from the slide there are two types of risk, external risk and internal risk. External risk consists of global factors or macroeconomic factors like rising oil prices, currency movements, any change in the government policy, change in inflation interest rates, demand and supply of the product, or general elections. Internal risk consists of the company's internal factors like labor issues in the company, entry of new players in the industry, price competition, technology changes, or the compliance issues, or the damage to the assets. One cannot have control on the external risk as it is related to the economy, but one can evaluate the company's internal risk as the company's internal policies will have a significant impact on the company's fundamentals and ultimately the stock price. Also, the stock prices discounts even before an event happens. Suppose any event is due to happen and the market gets to know before, then that event had already been factored in Sensex or the Nifty prices before the actual event comes. For example, though the number of coronavirus cases in India were just 1500 plus as on March 31st, 2020, Nifty had fallen approximately 23% in March 2020, whereas Nifty had risen approximately 36% in the next 4 months from April to July 2020, when the coronavirus cases were 14 lakhs plus as on 31st July 2020. Despite the coronavirus cases had increased drastically from mere 1500 cases to whooping 14 lakh cases in India, market rose in the next 4 months because market had already discounted the number of cases in early April 2020 when the market crashed by expecting the global average with respect to its population. The reason why stock prices discount the bad news well before the event is because the bad news comes in social media, TV channels before, and people who wanted to sell before the event as compared to the actual news when it hits the market. This makes the market sell off before the actual event. Similarly, when the good news is expected in the market, the buyers rush in to buy on the expectations of good news before the actual news hits the market, thereby soaring the markets. So when good news actually comes in the market, it is already discounted before. If any news is coming on TV channels or newspaper like any acquisition is happening, which will benefit the stock price or any merger is happening, or company profits have been doubled this quarter, one should not go and buy in the hurry as the news is already discounted in the price. If you are buying, then other must be selling and both must be hearing or reading the news. So why would a seller sell the stock on good news? One must try to understand. One cannot make money on certain news, but investor will surely be rewarded if he buys worthy stocks on uncertainty. Now we come to the mistakes of investing. Just like in tennis, having a great serve and a great backhand will win you at a lot of points, but any mistake will end up losing the game. It's often the player with the least mistakes who wins. Investing is pretty similar. Unless you know how to avoid the mistakes of investing, you will never have great portfolio returns. So before we get into the deep analysis of any company, here are the 6 mistakes that must be avoided that many investors make. I am going to talk about the 6 mistakes of investing. You have to be expert in managing money. You can time the market. Diversification is must to minimize the risk. Buying more in falling markets to average or holding in the hope of recovering the original amount. Ignoring valuation. Not using stop loss. First mistake is you have to be expert in managing your money. We are not day traders who are glued to the screen all day thinking every time that we have to make return without realizing where the market will head. Like traders, most of us don't have 5 hours daily. Let's face the facts. We have kids to raise, lives to live, and other jobs too. That takes most of our time. We don't want to be locked in the stock market screens all day. We are just looking for something that we can invest in and that can get us really great returns without the risk of losing money, without spending a lot of time. You just have to look for half hour a week into it, that's it. So investing is left for us. Second mistake is timing the market. It's one of the greatest mistakes to time the market. One cannot predict the market bottoms and market highs. There is no strategy that can consistently tells you when to be in the market and when to be out of it. You should not care whether you beat the market or not. If you expect a minimum 12 to 15% compounded returns every year, if you get that, you don't have to care what the market did, as you are going to retire rich anyway. The point here is very simple. You have to be student of the market past history to understand the market future. Third mistake is diversify and hold. If you know how to find a wonderful company at an attractive price, then there is no need to diversify in various stocks. You only need to focus on very few businesses that you understand. I would say only 5 to 7 stocks. You just have to concentrate on those number of stocks. So you buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. Diversification is for people who have no desire to learn and invest and are happy with 8 to 10 FD returns in stocks. Our goal is to find wonderful companies, buy them at attractive prices and let the market decide its value, which it will eventually bring the price to its real value over a period of time, maybe it in a few months or a few years. But we have to be patient till the price converts to its value. Fourth mistake is ignoring the valuation. The only reason you should buy your stock is that you should buy at a discount at what it is currently trading. It means business should be worthy at price than what it is selling for. The best way to avoid this is to pay attention to the valuation so that you can decide what price to buy and what price to sell. If current price is less than its real value, buy the stock. If it's more, then you sell the stock. Fifth mistake is buying more in falling markets to average or holding in the hope of recovering the original amount. Investors do make mistakes. It's part and parcel of the game. Don't try to buy more shares to bring down your average buying price. There is advantage in averaging down, provided the company fundamentals are strong. But one had to see if current fall is a temporary phenomena or it's pertaining to the company or due to external factors. Never ever catch the falling knife if company fundamentals are not intact, otherwise your losses can pile up. It's like throwing good money after bad money. I'm going to explain this point more in details now, as this is a common trap most investors fall into. Investors holding the stock in the hope of recovering the amount is called sunk cost fallacy. Let me give an example. For example, let's say you start a business and invested rupees 10 lakhs over the last 2 years. However, you haven't achieved any results so far, which you wanted. Moreover, you cannot see the business working out in the near future. Here the question is what to do next. Should you bear the losses and move on, or should you invest more money in that uncertain business? So rupees 10 lakhs will be counted as sunk cost if you bear the losses. But will you invest more money in that uncertain business? What if you lose more? Even investors are common people and they face this while making their investment decisions. For example, let's say that you bought a stock at rupees 100. Later the price of the stock starts declining to say rupees 60. In order to minimize the losses, you averages out the purchase price by buying more stock at rupees 60, and henceforth too the price keeps falling. Here the confusion happens when the stock keeps underperforming for a period of time. Here you are uncertain whether you should book the loss by selling the stock or you should continue averaging out with the hope that you may recover the losses in the future. In fact, nobody likes losing, and hence the past losses can influence the future decisions made by the investors. However, one must not consider sunk cost while making their investment decisions. One has to think practically and one has to ignore them while making decisions. So try to make better and more informed decisions by exploring your options, so you can minimize your losses and try to learn from your mistakes and reviewing your investment decisions. Learn when to hold your investments and learn when to fold your investments. Last mistake is not using stop loss even in investing. Stop losses are mostly used by traders. They are orders placed by traders to protect against big losses from individual positions by closing the position if and when a certain level is reached. For example, you buy something at 50, you might set a stop loss at 45. That is, if a trade is executed at 45, your brokerage platform will automatically sell to close your position at the next available price, limiting your loss on the trade to around 10%, that is 5 rupees. But does a similar strategy make sense for the investors with a more long-term view? The answer is yes. If the stock does go down below a strong support level of say medium to long-term horizon, it probably means that something had changed and your original logic for buying the stock no longer applies. That is why stop loss orders are so important even in investing, to protect against rapidly changing conditions in the company or industry rather than as an ongoing strategy. To sum up, we all make mistakes. Decisions are made when you rectify those mistakes. The main learning is that mistakes and investments are not separable. We have to take risks and accept that mistakes can happen, but ensure that mistakes are those that investors can afford and thereby can survive to emerge as a winner. In comments, I would like you to post what you think about risk in stock market and what mistake you think you can overcome. Share your comments below. Bye bye.